Everybody, welcome back to Monkey Fab Garage. It's monkeyfabgarage.com, and as you guys probably saw, we took the Phoenix for a test drive the other day. That was probably like 3 days ago, and it drove. We had some issues, and that's what we got to learn about. So all of this has been a bit of a learning experience, especially the electronics and stuff. Like the engine stuff is pretty simple. The fabrication stuff is pretty simple. I kind of took it around the corner and I kind of got on it, and it kind of backfired and nosed over, and then we puttered it home without being too aggressive on it. I'm sure the tune feels like it's way off, and I'm sure I kind of think I know what that is. But the thing is, number 6 LED is the red cam crank sensor, not the cam sensor, the crank position sensor under the car here. So this guy right behind the starter motor on the block is the crank position sensor. So to get to it, you have to remove the starter. I mean, I don't know if you have to. I mean, you might be able to miracle it out of there some other way, but we're going to, that's why I was disconnecting the battery, because we got hottie boys dingling all over the place here. Swap that out. Now, I have a few choices. It got sent to the dump in the first place, so I went and grabbed one off of the old 5.3 that I used to have in here, and it was a 58 reluctor wheel as well. It was gray, and this one's black, which I thought was kind of weird, like different colored sensors. So I swapped that out, and that, when we took it out on a drive, it gave us a code saying that it was having trouble reading that. So I have a couple options. One is I also bought a brand new one. The brand new one is the same color as the one that came out of here. And I don't think there's a difference between the iron and the aluminum blocks. I mean, it's either 58X or it's 24 is kind of what I saw. Like I think the 24 is like a 12 volt, and the 58 is a 5 volt. But I could be wrong. This is justified. It's funny how you used to go on the forums and read stuff, and it would be based in facts, but the forums haven't been updated in like a decade because everybody jumped on Facebook, and there is no legacy knowledge on Facebook. It's just like diarrhea on Facebook. So I can go new, which is, we all know, stands for never ever worked, or I can put the one that wasn't it back in it and think that, you know, hey, it ran for obviously 100,000 miles. That thing must have been working at one point, even if it's not working now. So it's a roll of the dice either way. I think I'm gonna throw the new one in and just give it a shot, because like then it's new and it's like, hey, we got new stuff in there. And if it doesn't work, then we try the other one and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm also changing out the oil. We gotta top off the tranny fluid a little bit. I've been kind of creeping into getting that right, and then lots of computering stuff that you guys won't want to see or do. And there is the culprit right there. Another thing on these guys I was reading up after chasing this down is I am not the only person that's ever suffered this red number 6 LED issue. That is kind of a common deal, and they say that the clearance between the sensor there, the Hall effect sensor, and the reluctor wheel is supposed to be only like 25 thou, which is pretty damn tight. So I also wonder if I'm just cleaning this thing, messing around, moving stuff, if maybe I didn't maybe some dirt gotten down there and kept it from seating fully and all that good stuff. So I think I will just give her a look, and we'll pull it out regardless and try to clean up a little bit around there. It has a whole different serial number on it, but is the same part number as the old gray one. So after doing a little bit of searching, asking on Facebook and Googling, or searching Amazon and Googling, and reading the reviews or questions down in the sensors, it's somebody said like, yo dog, those black is the new gray. So we can use that, and I think I'm going to, but I think we'll clean that up. There was a bunch of garbage that came out with that thing too, and the block was really gross and rusty, and I'm just going to take some Kleenex, or not some Kleenex, some paper towels, and kind of clean the best I can around there, and we're going to go, I think we'll just put the new one in there. Why not? All right, so there is where, see that hole? I'm shining the light right on next to the bolt head, and you can see like boogers around there and gross stuff. Well, this block was super cancerous when I got it. Just the cast iron was just flaking off. So I power blasted it and whatever, but I didn't take the sensors out to do that, obviously, because I didn't want to get water all over it. But we'll go ahead and clean that up best we can. Hopefully get this thing to seat better up in there. I just wanted to show you guys where we were at and what we're doing, just in case you ever get stuck in this kind of position. You'll know where it's at and blah, 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 blah. But we're gonna clean that up, stick our new guy in there, and then our problem is gonna be solved. Okay, new sensor seems to be good. I need to take it out and put a load on it because the other one was doing well too until I put a load on it. But I cleaned a lot of crap you guys saw out of that like spot, that old rust and corrosion and stuff. So hopefully there's just an air gap problem. It seems to be running fine now. Of course, the problem now is my lack of knowledge with the hauler. Blue is convinced she's going to catch a squirrel, and she's never going to catch a squirrel. So we warmed her up because I had made a bunch of changes to the file. I'm still trying to figure out how to attach this input with that output and make things work and line things up how I want them to be, but I don't know where to even look to begin, looking to try to figure stuff out. So I think what I'm gonna do, the smartest thing is I heated it up and just made sure, although my fan just runs non-stop. So I'll need to figure out what's going on with the fan and why it just wants to be turned on. It should be the computer turning it on with a ground source. But I heated it up and made sure that it was, cycling the thermostat, and it was, you could see the temperature rising and falling as the thermostat would open, and got some heat in it, topped off the transmission fluid, and it is still leaking. I've still got a leak on the transmission. The thing is I tried to cheat, and instead of just doing new lines and putting new hosins on the new lines, or even reusing the ones I have with new olives, not a big deal. Instead, I tried to add an adapter, and then I needed an adapter for the adapter, and I just stacked a bunch of crap, which is not the way to do it. So the bottom line is we're gonna have to yank those lines out there and just refix them. Just get the garbage off the ends, do it right one time, and be done with it. So just drain that guy out, and then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down with a pen and a paper and just write through all the problems that I can find, the problems I'm having with the software lining stuff up, the hardware problems like the fan not wanting to shut off, and that way I can make a checklist to work through, and I can also contact some people that maybe know more than me and say, like, cogently, here's my problems, can you help me out with some of this stuff? Or even just email it to them and say, like, hey, if you get a chance, if you look at this, that would be a big help. So that's where we're at with this guy. All those things are like little minor things, though. It's, I could drive it with the fan running. It's not a big deal. But making inputs, outputs, and sensors working. I did get the two-step working, kind of, sort of, in a way. But I'll show you guys that later. That'll be the teaser. so yeah, just that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna make a cogent list of things, and I think that way I'll be able to hopefully sort through the problems.